Today we are checking out Perverts by Ethel Cain. Sorry. I'm sorry, I do apologize. I know that's a terrible way to open the video by laughing at the album title, but we have to allow some room for humor in our lives, right? I know that this is in fact quite a serious concept album by Ethel. It's the first time that we will be covering her on the channel. So we're going to listen to the album pretty much the whole way through, maybe without pausing. So I will be making comments as the music plays, and I am going to be mostly concerned with the music as I checked out some... Alright, my lighting died. I guess that's what I get for laughing at the album title. Karma, I'll accept it. So yeah, I was just saying that I've familiarized myself with the concept behind each individual song through Genius annotations. I did notice that the meaning seemed to be more specific in some songs than others. Some of the songs had vaguer, more highly conceptual meanings, from what I could gather. And also, I noticed that some of the annotations did consist of some hearsay, like they were the individual interpretations of the contributors rather than something that Ethel definitely intended. But that said, I think I have a pretty good grasp on the context for this music and the overall intention at hand. Now on YouTube, we are going to cover the first half of the project, the songs Perverts up until Onanist, and the songs Pole Drone to Amber Waves are going to be reserved for my patrons. So by the time we finished track 5, if you've enjoyed the experience, please follow me over to Patreon, where we'll be covering the rest of the music. Link is in the description. Now, without further ado, let's get right into it. Love the atmosphere and the production we have. I love that hellish twist that they did with the production. That she did with the production. I'm not sure how many people worked on this music, but that was a really cool effect. You could still hear the harmony to the main line there, but it was twisted. Very cool. And this extended silence is so unnerving. I love it. This is cool. I like this. I am so unnerved. Kind of sounds like the place in hell that you might end up for the self-pleasurement, you know? That Christian fantasy of where the sinners will end up. I did also read how she's a bit of a power plant aficionado. If you're a real one, you know what I'm talking about. And I'm hearing the concrete, so I can see how that inspiration is coming through here in this song. For a song that's so dark and unnerving, aggressively unnerving, there's a lot of tenderness and care put into the sound design and the production. That panning noise is so hypnotic. You can hear like very subtle breathing and moaning sounds. It makes it even more uncomfortable. But I'm totally entranced by this. I find this to be very inspiring stuff. It's not what I was expecting. I was expecting, you know, semi-dark, but this is like dark. This is real art to me. I'm so curious to know where the album is going to go from here. If it's going to get a little bit more musical, or if it's purely this sort of atmospheric droning. Because I can totally handle 12 minutes of this if that's the goal of this one piece. But I am hoping for a little bit more dynamics in the other tracks. Not the easiest album to do a quote-unquote reaction video to. But I can assure you I'm taking in every moment, you know, I'm listening. Seems there's a build happening, which is something I was hoping for. What an opening track. This is quite a statement. To be fair, I haven't heard her other stuff. For some reason I assumed she was pop adjacent, and maybe she still is, but this is really not what I would consider to be pop. Slight string melody happening here. Beautiful stuff. Love that. The dissonance is slowly taking the back seat, and we have this gorgeous string melody coming in, which is still in that minor key. Super dark, sad, but giving an element of relief, almost. But it's a sad relief, more of a release, like a death. Kind of reminds me of a dream I had last night, actually, where I was flying. Imagine that. I love this final portion of the song. I love the slight dissonance with the melody. In fact, I wish that this part had started sooner, so this part could develop even more, but maybe the transition into the next track will enlighten us, but I guess not. But yeah, that was really cool opening track. I really enjoyed that. It's happening to everybody. Okay, this is Punish. This is more of a literal song, from what I gathered from the annotation. It's a dark story about a criminal. I'm not sure if I can say what kind of criminal here on YouTube. I don't want to get buried in the algorithm, but you guys know, obviously.
Whatever's wrong with me, I will take to bed. I get in so easy. Nature chews on me. Little death like lead, poisonous and heavy. It has always been this way. It has always been this way.
Stunning vocals, stunning melody, atmosphere. This is exactly what I was hoping for after the first track. It's a beautiful transition into a far more melodic style, while maintaining that unnerving atmosphere and the spirit of that same sound design. Really beautiful stuff. And this is such a monster of a topic to try to tackle lyrically. Very admirable for her to take this route in the narrative from this perspective. It's almost sympathetic, and it raises a really interesting moral question about this human who is suffering in this way, what this human has caused such dreadful suffering in the worst possible way known to humanity. So this album is pulling no punches in terms of the themes that it wants to explore. Not something you'd put on in the car. But a phenomenal piece of art. The pain, the suffering is so palpable. I kind of wish this song was about something else, because melodically and sonically, this is really up my alley, but I just don't want to be reminded of this particular thing every time I listen to this track. But yeah, this is good stuff. This is really, really good. I'm so impressed, honestly. All right. Whew. Next is Housofpsychoticwomn. This is a 13-minute one. returning to the dreary road from the first track again somewhat. This was one of the songs where the meaning wasn't entirely clear to me based on what I read on Genius. So I might try to gather something here and there from the lyrics. I decided not to read through the lyrics before I listened to these songs because I didn't want to be totally spoiled. Interesting sound. Sounds like something being whirled around. I can't gather anything specific from these lyrics. They're a bit vague. It's kind of more about a vibe I'm gathering. Musings on love and loss. I'm not sure where the perversion comes in with this one, conceptually. Obviously there's something I'm not quite getting here. But what the sense I'm getting is that I'm in like a tortured mind, and the thoughts are spinning, the doubt is spinning, the despair, and there is no particular direction. Maybe that's the point, you know. As humans, we're very complex. Our emotions and our thoughts are sometimes contradictory, as well as our desires. That's what I think this song is getting at least that's what the music is telling me, the production. You know, we have this sound that sounds like something going around and round in a circle. It's not able to land anywhere. I do admire artists who decide to create music like this because I wouldn't say it lends itself well to like multiple listens. The way I like to experience a work like this is like one time, you know. And ideally, it would be in a situation where I would not be talking through it and explaining my thoughts. That's just what we do here on this channel, but it is giving a very profound, like, effect. Like I'm being sucked into this crazy dimension, a hellish dimension. Got some fry vocals there, a little bit of metal coming through. Good texture. That spinning noise is definitely enough to drive one demented. But it's cool how the EQ on the spinning noise and the effects on that noise are being tweaked throughout this whole track, so it actually doesn't get too repetitive. It's coming into the foreground, it's going into the background. Sometimes you notice it more, sometimes less. Sometimes it's a sharper sound, sometimes it's a softer sound. Great attention to detail. A little bit of a beat there almost in the background. Oh man, I would love for that beat to come through fully in like a heavy like drop, dance drop. I would love that, but I just know that's not going to happen. It's not the style of this album to do that. I like that I'm like bobbing my head at this point. So it seems that pulse is transformed back into that spinning sound. Or did that spinning sound transform into the pulse to begin with? Very brave to go in a more musical direction for the second track and then immediately jump back into this extended atmospheric droning for the third track. I will say, like I said again, I wouldn't really listen to this for pleasure, but I do appreciate the experience that I'm being subjected to, if that makes sense. And from my own personal taste, my own personal perspective, it does sort of vacillate, eh? Okay, vacillate between noise and music. To me, there's a distinction. Like at the moment, this reminds me of what I might be listening to in a projector room at an art museum. It's all about the mood, this imposing mood. There's nothing really musically to grasp onto here, you know? So I will admit that that makes this final fifth of this track a little uninteresting to me, because at some point it's like, I do get it, and I do get that she wants to kind of annihilate me with the darkness. But I would like some music too, if that's okay. I'm fully annihilated at this point. Yeah, all sanity has been lost. We're in the third circle of hell. I wonder what the repetition of I love you is getting at, and I can't believe I'm only asking this now, as the song's about to end. Maybe it's about the meaninglessness of those words, how they're kind of thrown around. That's my best guess. And if so, point taken. Brutal. Brutal in so many ways. This is a Vacillator. Okay. I like how this is unnerving in a different way. We just have the kick drum and the snare in this creepily slow groove. Like the person who's playing this kit is just like on their last legs. One little nitpick, if I may. She does have a hint of that cursive singing style that I personally find a bit unappealing. But it's a nitpick, you know. That's a stylistic thing that is personal. But the actual tone of her voice, the resonance, the breathiness, I love all that. It's just the diction, the pronunciation of the words that I'm not hugely fond of. Because it kind of breaks the immersion a bit when you hear something trendy like that in an album that's supposed to be like timeless or otherworldly. At least a concept like this should be. And it is. Don't get me wrong, this is really impressive art. Again, this song is a relief from the dissonance. We're taking a turn. I like the texture of this part. It was almost an organ-like sound there for a second. I like the lower harmony there. Really interesting how the harmonies are starting to take over very slowly. It's a really nice subtlety in the arrangement. Really nice. Sorry, my cat's meowing there. I hope you can't hear that. Ruining the best part of the song. Sorry about that. Yeah, I love the tail end of this one. I love all those harmonies, really pretty. Now we have a peaceful minor chord to kind of sit on. Don't get too comfortable. The drone is returning. I would like another more musical track like that one. this will be the last song that we're gonna check out now, which is Onanist, I believe. Yeah, the last song on YouTube. So I'm just gonna pause there real quick and attend to my cat to quieten him down a bit. Okay, let's continue with Onanist. This is actually a very pretty melody on the piano. I wonder if that's an acoustic piano that was adjusted post-production, or if it's an actual sound that they got from an electric piano. This sort of dingy, industrial, heavily distorted, melodic music always reminds me of the Silent Hill soundtrack. And if you've watched a lot of my reactions, you'll notice that I always bring up that soundtrack when it gets into this type of stuff. But there's even hints of this style in music as early as Pink Floyd as well, so it's hard to tell who influenced who. But this is very Silent Hill-y right now, this part. I do love the lyrics. They're very poetic, full of passion and imagination. I wanna know what love is. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. My mind just went there. I thought this song started off stronger than where it's going. And considering what the song is actually about, I'm not sure how that's being communicated through the music exactly. Except for this spoken word part kind of implying it in a more literal way. Yeah, you know, I get it. I would like for the album to not be such a one-trick pony in recurring this spoken word tool. On the other hand, you could say it's a sort of motif, thematic thing that's tying the album together, this spoken word, creepy voice. Because in the other song it was I love you, I love you, I love you. In this song is it feels good, it feels good, it feels good. I get it. I just don't know if it hits the second time round in that way, but I thought the first half of that song was great. The second half borrowed ideas from the earlier tracks to me. I am really curious now that we have a 15-minute track ahead of us, Pole Drone, where we're going to be taken sonically. And with a title like Pole Drone, I'm just going to assume there's going to be droning. I guess selfishly what I'm hoping for is a development of the droning style that we've gotten so far, so that the album doesn't feel too repetitive and I don't start to lose interest. Because by and large, I find this body of music to be extremely impressive, full of passion. It's really affecting me. I love to listen to music and get that feeling that, whoa, like I don't think I've heard something like this before, or at least I haven't heard something like this in a while. So yeah, very excited for the rest of the album. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say album because I did read a tidbit somewhere that she doesn't consider this an album necessarily, but more of a project. I think that's interesting because to me it's quite cohesive. Obviously, the style of the music track to track flows pretty well, as an album traditionally does. So I don't know why it wouldn't be considered an album, but only a project. Let me know what the deal is there. If you have enjoyed this experience with me, follow me over to Patreon, where we're gonna listen to the next 4 songs. The link is down below. If you don't decide to follow us over, thank you for listening anyway. I hope you enjoyed. If you don't know me, my name is Ethel Cain. I'm the composer for the symphonic metal project Vacillator. You can check out our music in the description. There's also a link to my full reaction database spreadsheet if you're curious about all the other music I've covered on the channel. Otherwise, please like, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. Thanks so much and take care.